Hello, everyone. A very logical day to all of you. And here we are with the discussion of the first editorial of the time of the Indian Express, January 27. Let's see what we have in store. Here, the topic is Delhi to Cairo. As we know, we'll be coming up with the reading along with that discussion of the words. Let's see how to understand the words there. And then, of course, the main idea discussion, and then vocabulary, I'll be giving you the meanings. So, Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi's India visit is his third since he took over the reins of his country in 2013 in the chaotic aftermath of the Arab Spring Revolution in his country. Right? What we can understand from this is that he is fine. This is the data. This is his third visit. Right? He took over the reins of his country in 2013. Now he's the president. He took over the reign in 2013 means he took over the controls. Right? He came, he was at the helm, you can say now. At the helm का मतलब होता है कि जो controlling position पे हो. ठीक है? So, and in the chaotic aftermath of the Arab Spring Revolution in his country, chaotic you can relate to chaos. Now, he participated in the India-Africa Summit in Delhi in 2015 and the next year came on a state visit during which, in keeping with the long and historic friendship between the two countries, there was a joint statement outlining the elements of a new partnership for a new era. That means 2015 he came and then 2016 he came. This time, this is the third 2023, Sisi, who was chief guest at the Republic Day parade, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi elevated the pillars of the bilateral relationship to a strategic partnership. Elevated, you can understand here, elevated is to increase or to rise. Elevation यानी होता है at a higher level. ठीक है, तो 2013 में वो बने थे प्रेसिडेंट, 2015 में उनका फर्स्ट विजिट हुआ था, 2016 में दूसरा विजिट हुआ था, 2023 में इनका थर्ड विजिट है. तो धीरे 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 they were actually increasing their bond or relationship, and now it turned to a strategic partnership. So what the author wants us to understand here is this: Delhi and Cairo coming up with a strategic partnership. Now, explanation of the whole thing, that is a strategic partnership. Example नहीं आएगा, explanation होगा ये पूरा. देखते हैं. Delhi is eager to push up its engagement with Egypt in step with its diverse and evolving relationships in the Arab world. Cairo has remained a close ally of the US. Ally means friend of the US since the 1970s and was the first Arab country to break ranks to recognize Israel, a consequential moment in the Arab-Israeli conflict. Now, here also you can understand to break ranks, matlab, it was the first one to do or say something that was not done or said by the others. So, to break ranks wo ho jayega. A consequential moment in the Arab-Israeli conflict, 5 decades later, the geopolitical landscape in West Asia has been transformed with 9/11, Arab Spring revolts, rise of ISIS, and Abrahamic Accords following in quick succession over 20 years. India's own strategic, security, and economic priorities in West Asia have changed. So this is the changed scenario that is given by the author, and this is the background of that scenario कि पहले क्या था अब क्या है. अब थोड़ा सा इनमें आपस का रिलेशन चेंज हुआ है. कैसे? Bringing it closer to Israel, UAE, and Saudi Arabia. Now, India now partners the UAE, Israel, and the US in a quad of the Middle East. Sisi, a retired military officer who ousted his predecessor in a coup and has been elected twice since then, winning with a huge majority both times, rules over his country with an iron fist. Okay, now this much is said about Mr. Sisi. What is that? रिटायर्ड मिलिट्री ऑफिसर, क्योंकि मिलिट्री के हैं तो फिर वो आ जाएंगे, बड़ा स्ट्रिक्ट होंगे वो. What did he do? He ousted his predecessor in a coup. We have discussed this word coup in our previous editorials, right? So a coup d'etat would be like overthrowing the existing government. That is the who. Ousted is to dethrone somebody, किसी को बाहर कर देना, उस पोजीशन से उसे हटा देना, वो ousted हो जाता है. And then winning twice with a huge majority, तो huge majority can be called a landslide victory. ठीक है, जैसे उस दिन हम 90 रन से जीते थे ना, वैसा. Right, a landslide victory, that is called a huge majority. Then he rules over his country with an iron fist. Iron fist is very strongly, very strictly, right? So you can understand iron stands for strength. With Egypt a linked state between West Asia and North Africa, he is seen by the West as a force of stability in a region buffeted by Al Qaeda, IS, and other Islamists. Delhi seeks common ground on this front with Egypt. ये रहा author की main point. इसके पहले both the parts of the paragraph are giving you explanation, or it is giving you the background reasoning for it. Why does Delhi and come up with the strategic partnership? Why did Delhi and Cairo come with a strategic partnership? उसका background वो यहाँ बता रहे हैं. ठीक है. In remarks after his arrival, Sisi and Modi spoke in one voice about the threat that terrorism posed for India at the cross-border terrorism. Right? So here we can understand spoken one voice means in agreement is seeing eye to eye. ये एक और idiom हो जाता है. Seeing eye to eye का मतलब जो तुमने देखा वही. So that in simple words it would be to agree or be of the same opinion. To be of the same opinion. Right. So, Sisi and Modi spoke in one voice about the threat that terrorism poses for India at cross-border terrorism. The two countries will talk about this and other aspects of the relationship in a newly set up joint commission. With defense manufacturing, a new priority sector for India, and Egypt, a big weapons consumer. The two sides discussed co-manufacturing. This is in the near future what can happen. In a region where China has been building up a presence with infrastructure and agriculture, India would also like to see trade with Egypt as an opening to the North African region. So, what is China doing there? It is focusing on the infrastructure and agriculture. What can India do there? Coming up with this co manufacturing of the defense part. So, looking for trade. Like India, Egypt has tried to remain neutral in Russia's war against Ukraine. But as with others across the world, it has been badly affected by the disruption in the food chain. Whatever was happening between Russia and Ukraine, the whole world was getting affected by it. It is getting affected, and this is something that we have read in many articles. Egypt is the world's largest wheat importer. About three-fourths of its supplies used to come from Ukraine and Russia. Keeping food prices stable has been at the top of the agenda for every ruler since the food riots of 1977. India stepped in to fill the gap. Step in to fill the gap in June. मतलब यूक्रेन या रशिया ने मना कर दिया, तो फिर इंडिया ने आगे कदम उठाया. Agreeing to export this much tons of wheat to Egypt, but prices are still skyrocketing. They agreed to export, but the prices are skyrocketing. मतलब sky में rocket की जैसे चले जाना. ठीक है, रॉकेट्स अभी ने फोड़े हैं ना, बस्ट किए हैं दिवाली के टाइम पे. द रॉकेट वुड गो वेरी वेरी क्विकली, नो, in that way. The prices also, when they rise very quickly, they are called skyrocketing prices. India has invited Egypt as a guest country at the G20 this year. Delhi's global Saudism, which will be a running thread through its G20 presidency, is bound to find resonance in Cairo. That means what Delhi is proposing, Cairo will also be resonating. मतलब हमने पहले ही बोला था कि they are speaking in one voice. That means similar ideas. So what Delhi is saying will be resonated in Cairo's voice also. Recalling the association of the two countries in the non-aligned movement, एक नाम भी था कई साल पहले, non-alignment movement, that was right. So Egypt was also with India there, and it is expected that Egypt will be with India in this present situation also regarding this G20. So quite an easy one. You don't get too many difficult words here, but this is the main idea, excerpts of that main idea. Let us see. Elevated the pillars of the bilateral relationship to a strategic partnership. That is all what you want to, or what you need to keep in mind from the first paragraph, that whatever the link between Delhi and Cairo was there, it has been elevated now. तो वो strategic partnership आ गई कि दोनों के लिए ये बात सही होगी अगर दोनों एक दूसरे के साथ रहते हैं तो. Delhi is eager to push up its engagement with Egypt in step with its diverse and evolving relationship in the Arab world. India's own strategic security and economic priorities in West Asia have changed, bringing it closer to Israel, the UAE, and Saudi Arabia. Egypt, a linked state between West Asia and North Africa. Egypt has tried to remain neutral in Russia's war. This we just read. India stepped in to fill the gap. That means, anyhow, India is helping Egypt, and Egypt is bound to reciprocate to resonant. Resonance echo होता है. ठीक है, reciprocate वैसे ही करेंगे वो भी. So we get a central idea, that is, India is eager to ramp up its engagement, increase with Egypt in step with its diverse and evolving relationship in Arab world. So coming up with a strategic partnership, what is the requirement of the need, or is the need of the hour? If India wants to uh, build a good relationship or evolve relationship in the Arab world. That becomes a one sentence central idea there. So when you have to come up with the options, when in an RC you get what is the central idea of this article, options में से हमें समझ में आ जाएगा कि करना क्या है, कि क्या चाहिए हमें, strategic importance चाहिए. दूसरा, building relation or getting a foothold in the Arab world. That is what India needs. So here comes the vocabulary part. Not many words, but yes, we have discussed most of the words here. To hold the reins is to take control in one's hands. Chaotic is noisy. Chaos, I told you, related to chaos, messy thing, unruly things, ये हो जाता है chaotic. Unruly, disorder. Ousted is thrown out or overthrown or dethroned, कुछ भी बोल सकते हैं, but ousted को out से तो relate कर ही सकते हैं हम. Coup is a military action. This is what we have discussed earlier also. An iron fist also very stern, very strict. उसे कहते हैं iron fist. मतलब जो बोल दिया सो बोल दिया ना, no leniency given there. Spoken one voice is to agree, to be of the same opinion. Skyrocketing, another phrase would be to hit the roof. And resonance is reverberate or echo. हमारे पास ये sound word आ जाता है. Sound as a root word means sound. Right? And I've given you two more idioms. That was at the helm, and I think so I gave you one more, a landslide victory, है ना? I hope you have written. At the helm का मतलब रेंज के साथ हमने डिस्कस किया था, और a landslide victory का मतलब huge majority वाला था. Right? So see, it was so easy today. I hope you have done this, you have understood it, and it would hardly take you 6 to 7 minutes to come to this understanding of the article. No? Quite an easy one. Next day I'll come up with a little lengthy article. I'll select one. So that's all for today. Thank you, and enjoy your day ahead, enjoy your weekend ahead, and stay logical.